Welcome to It's a Death Sentence. Today we have the pleasure of being at Birmingham City Library.
With Brum Yodo
Which is You Only
Die Once.
Brilliant title. And we've had the pleasure of being joined by several guests, so many we couldn't record all of them, but we have decided to put a little compilation together of our favourites.
Yes, so this is for the Matter of Life and Death Festival at Birmingham Library, as Emma said, and we interviewed quite a lot of people. One of them was Sarah Barton from Stirchley Art Room. She talked to us about her groups that she does there.
We had Dr. Prudencia Dixon, who is a really incredible woman, actually. Really lovely interview, and she's a celebrant, amongst other things.
Yeah, she was writing a book about traditions for Jamaican people in Jamaica, and whether the death of 9 nights was her book she was writing about.
Yeah, and in fact, she's got a nice online presence as well. So that's Dr. Prudencia Dixon, if you want to look her up.
And then we had Sadie Carter, who was a lovely young lady, very, very softly spoken, she was working for a natural undertaking.
She was, and that was really interesting because she was quite a young female to be working in that industry. So she made a fantastic interview.
And then last but not least, the lovely Spoz.
Yeah, who was Poet Laureate for Birmingham, I think 2024, is that right? 2023?
Yeah.
But those of you who aren't familiar with his work, then get online, that's Spoz, and look him up. He's amazing. It's a great interview.
So we hope you enjoy this little compilation, and hopefully we'll have a few more of these for next year's festival.
Remember, we are dying to talk to you.
It's a death sentence.
So I'm Sarah Barton. I run Stirchley Art Room, and we run free or pay-as-you-feel art clubs for adults in Stirchley Library. We've been doing this since about 2019, and I'm here today because last week we ran a special evening art club session on the theme of loss and grief for Dying Matters Week. And that was sponsored by Central Co-op, and we're very grateful for their sponsorship. And we also linked in with Brum Yodo, who, which is why we're here today, and we're exhibiting these artworks.
Is that the first time you've worked with Brum Yodo?
Yeah, it is. Yes. Yeah. So it was a really nice connection that just came about, as I was telling our art clubbers about the session that we were doing for Dying Matters Week.
And how did that session go?
It went really well, yeah. So it was
interesting artworks produced.
Yeah. It was a very sort of calm and contemplative kind of mood in the session, and some people were regular art clubbers who came, and some people had come specifically because they wanted to explore that theme through art. So it was interesting. We had an exhibition that we'd borrowed from West Hill Foundation, which is here today, which is a series of artworks made by, I can't remember the art name, artist's name, Jean, somebody. And it was a really useful kind of trigger for lots of people to start thinking about the theme, and lots of people resonated with that quite strongly.
Is the artwork out there?
It is.
Go and grab it.
Yeah. And then we had some other things to help people start thinking about this theme. We had some poetry and some of my own artwork I put out because it was connected. And yeah, we did. We had a few different processes on offer that people could explore, but it's very flexible and people could explore things in whatever way felt right to them. So we ended up with a really wide range of works from the session, and about 15 participants agreed to have their work displayed here in the exhibition today. Yeah.
So people are quite sort of open to the process of grieving and grief.
Well,
turning into art.
Yeah, I think everybody who came along, we had 27 people came along for that session, and everybody that came along knew that that's the theme that we were going to be exploring. So I think there may have been people who self-selected out of it, if they didn't feel ready to
That's
think
a good
about
turnout as well, isn't it?
Yeah. And we had new people who'd never come to art club before, but who'd come specially so that they could explore this theme with us.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Because it's a nice way to deal with grief.
It really is. Yeah, it really is. And
art therapy is becoming more and more commonplace as well, getting it for not just for death and grief, but for just any kind of trauma.
Yeah.
Sadness,
Yeah, I mean, we're not art therapists, but we're very flexible. We allow people to kind of explore, what they want in the way that they want. Yeah,
artist therapy.
Yeah. Well, I think if you spoke to our art club participants, they would tell you that they definitely feedback to us how helpful it is and how it's that some people say this is my therapy. They sort of describe it in that way.
We'll just quickly go back to the artist who you were talking about earlier, who's exhibited today. So this is the late Jean Parker. She died in 2006.
Yeah.
I'm going to quickly, to camera, just go through the fact that she's gone through the stages of grief that we're all quite familiar with, but did these beautiful artworks, which we will go and get photographs of to go with this. But they're incredible. I mean, what a way to capture this fashion. These artworks have been lent by the library.
West Hill Foundation.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they are here today at Birmingham Library, so we'll get some extra footage of those. So thank you so much. We're gonna take this to a bit of a strange place now.
Okay.
So we're gonna ask you. So Tom here is not just head of camera.
He's not our cameraman. Yeah.
He's an artist, as you know, because you guys have had a conversation already.
Yeah.
These are 3 masks that he's made,
Wow.
each with a different expression. So we would ask you to look at these masks and see which one you find the most appealing or calls to you, maybe even from the own point of view from any loss you've had yourself, and how that might have made you feel. You're looking at this one a lot.
I am looking at that one. I think that's the one that I'm going for. Yeah.
Hold that for us. You don't have to put it on if you don't want to, but if you have a little study of it and hold it round to the camera for us. Can you tell us why you chose that?
Yeah, well, I thought a little bit about it as I was looking at them. I mean, the other 2 felt quite kind of like they seem to represent negative emotion.
Absolutely.
And this one is kind of got a bit of a smile on it.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, do I find that a bit creepy? Because I was then thinking, I was sort of thinking about the association of sort of like clown masks and horror in the smile. I was like, or is it actually
You just described Tom.
Yeah. And then I sort of settled on, it's funny how these things can go through your minds really quickly, isn't it? I settled on, no, actually, this is the one that resonates most for me with my own experiences of grief and loss.
Right.
And I think the reason being that I've kind of come through that to a place where I feel at peace with things.
Yeah.
And so I think that's what that represents for me. And I think that's why I was drawn to that one, not the others. The others might have been the ones
And also, it could
at
change.
some point.
We might have caught you last week where you didn't feel quite so good
Absolutely.
about it.
Absolutely.
And that's- And I think actually
Yeah.
that ties in very well with Jean Parker's work, is the
Right.
state
Yeah.
of grief.
Yes.
All of the time
Absolutely.
they change. don't
Yeah,
they?
yeah, yeah. And actually those stages of grief are interesting because from my own experience, it didn't really feel like I was going through stages of grief in a sort of linear way. But looking back from a distance on an experience, you can see that, all of those emotions were part of the process. But they weren't necessarily cropping up in a this, then this, then this, then this sort of way. But they were all felt at some point.
Yeah.
And sometimes you'd come back to things.
I think it can be a misconception about it being linear.
Yeah.
I think you can have an hour where you feel fine and 2 days where you don't, and then several weeks where it's not really much, and it changes all of the time.
Yeah, I think there's also the big picture, and then there are little moments within that, aren't there? And I feel like this represents the big picture for me.
At this point.
So the big picture is I've come to a place of acceptance, and I even feel like I've grown in some way.
Amazing.
So there's like a positive change that has come out of what felt like a devastating tragedy. But there's always the kind of the going closer in moments where you might be feeling like this or like this.
Yeah.
But it's still part of a bigger picture, which is more positive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So so I feel like
brilliant
that's
description.
Yeah.
That was absolutely
Yeah.
brilliant.
Thank you.
And Sarah, we're going to finish on you choosing a card. This is from the death deck. Are you familiar with it?
I'm not at all. No,
So
no.
we
So
can't,
it sounds
we
like
can't
fun.
play this, but when we interviewed the ladies from Birmingham Yodo,
Yeah.
they introduced us to the death deck. Carrie, them were important because they are conversation starters about death. So
Yeah.
Is it? Which way around is it?
So some of them are a little bit more funny, not so serious, and some of them are, thought-provoking.
Yeah.
So you choose which pile you think you would go for.
Okay.
So
So
if you want to shuffle them,
You do what you want.
to,
You
or
want
you
to
just
pick
pick
them up,
one
or
at
you can pick
random.
the first one.
right. So is there a difference between kind of the two
More
sets?
serious and less serious.
Okay. Oh, I'm gonna go. I don't know. I want to look at both. So what do I do? Just pick up one. I'm
and
gonna go.
I'll read it for you, and then
Okay.
you can give us your answer.
Can I pick them at random?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Can I shuffle it?
Yeah.
I'd love to see you now, like do like proper poker
Yeah.
stuff.
That'd be brilliant. Right. So that one's jumped out. So I'm gonna go for that
Do you
one.
know, everyone
There we
keeps
go.
saying that, yeah.
There we are.
Okay. Time well spent. So you've just received a prognosis of 6 months to live, but feel pretty healthy. How do you spend your time? That doesn't seem light-hearted.
No, I
But
don't.
anyway,
That's what you got.
how do
Right.
you spend your time?
My goodness. Yeah. I think I'd want to spend it with people. Yeah, probably spending time with people. Yeah, reconnecting with people who I maybe haven't seen for a long time, and and talking to them, making sure they're okay about the fact that I'm going to go, that sort of thing. I think I'd want to spend it with
How
people.
thoughtful you're thinking of other people.
Yeah. Would you ever consider? We've talked to somebody recently, a celebrant who talks about living.
Living funerals, have you heard of
Right. Yes, I have heard of them. I've heard things on the radio about them. Yeah, it's an interesting idea. Yeah, I would definitely consider that.
I mean, it's essentially
Yeah.
the wake that everyone gets to have.
Yeah.
Knees up and
Yeah.
but you're there.
Yeah, I would consider that. I think I would definitely be thinking about that and thinking seriously about whether it was something I wanted to do. And again, I think it would all probably be connected to this sort of wanting to connect in with people.
Yeah, that's a great way
Yeah.
to with loads of people.
Yeah. It could be like, I feel like I probably wouldn't want it to be like a single event. I probably want to, make it a sort of a long process.
Yeah.
Multiple. Happening in different ways.
Absolutely.
And being,
So
probably-
there's not one thing on a bucket list for you that you'd like to go and achieve or something.
I don't think so.
It's
no.
not lovely though.
Yeah.
It's just simple.
Yeah.
Simple. Reconnect with the people you love.
Yeah, I think it's all about people
Yeah.
for me. Yeah.
That's
So-
lovely.
Yeah, thank you. So before we finish, just tell our listeners and viewers if they are in your area of Stirchley and they want to come along to the art room.
Yes.
How can they do that?
Okay, so if you have a look on our social media, on Instagram and Facebook, if you search for Stirchley Art Room or @ArtStirchley is our kind of tag, you'll see there are some pinned posts telling you all the details. But very briefly, we have daytime sessions on a Monday, which is 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. and daytime sessions on a Wednesday, 10 a.m. till 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. till 5 p.m. They're drop-in, completely free. You could just turn up. You don't need to book. And then we have a Thursday evening session, 6 till 8 p.m. And that's also drop-in, but it's pay as you feel because we're currently unfunded, apart from our sponsors who've sponsored some sessions. So, yeah, you could just turn up and give it a go. There's no obligation to come again. You don't have to sign up, and it's as flexible as possible. And it's all at Stirchley Library.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We are joined by Dr. Prudencia. Let's firstly have a moment for that name, shall we? Prudencia.
What a name.
She's not allowing anyone to shorten it, and she shouldn't. Dr. Prudencia, please will you tell our listeners and our viewers who you are and what you do?
Okay, so I'm Prudencia Dixon. I did a PhD a few years ago, graduated in 2023, so just a couple of years ago, on the changes to Jamaican death rituals and the way they were being experienced as a crisis of identity and heritage by some people both in the Jamaican diaspora in the UK and also in Jamaica itself. So it was a comparative study between here in the UK and Jamaica. So I got to go to Jamaica to look at what was there then. Yes. So that's it in a nutshell.
In a nutshell.
That was the research.
Okay.
I was explaining to someone earlier, that wasn't the research I went initially to do to university. I actually went to research the titling systems of the royal titling systems of the some people of Cameroon. Right?
Wow. Okay.
Because in another life, in a previous existence, I had been given a royal title in Cameroon, and I had offered to write a book for them based on their culture, and how I was incorporated into that culture. But when I got to university, having been accepted to do that, Cameroon went to civil war, and they said, we can't send a student to a war zone. Can you find another topic? I don't know if I should say this on
You should definitely say it.
Yeah, but I am a medium.
Yes.
So-
We've got one here.
So-
We won't let her out. Keep you here.
So I have that interest, and I then wondered whether or not I could incorporate. I didn't think that could be an academic thing to research, but I wondered.
You would. The two don't necessarily.
No, they don't. They don't, and that isn't really what I did research in the end. But because I had an interest in death, I thought, what could I do that could relate to death? And I got wind of this rumblings about the change in death rituals and went back to my supervisors and said, could you supervise me if I did this? And they said, so long as you put a heritage slant on it,
Just give it that lead.
we can do that. So I did. And I do really feel, having an interest in the spirit world, that I was guided to do this research
Wow.
because it put me in touch with so many other people that I wouldn't have had access to if I had done the other research. Death is prevalent in every culture,
Yeah.
in every family, everywhere. And how people respond to death in the 4 years I was doing the research was perhaps the most enlightening and fascinating thing I've ever done.
Can I ask you a question? From a personal point of view, so you've just told us you're a medium and you have an interest in death. These two things are related.
Indeed.
But did your interest in writing about death, from a cultural point of view, all of this, did it come from an experience of loss yourself?
Yes. There were some traumatic losses within my own family.
Okay.
One of which pushed me to become a volunteer counsellor with Cruise Bereavement Care.
Yeah. Wow, amazing.
Just to be able to understand the process. Having done the counselling with Cruise, I understood the grief process. So when we had a second death in my family, my sister died, I thought, well, I understand how it works, so it won't affect me.
All right.
Yeah, I understand it, so I'm immune.
I understand it, so I'm immune. And because I was the one who took responsibility for arranging the funeral and everything I did that. And I went through that, and I was so strong and organised. And
Isn't that the way, though? You've got a process to follow, then it falls apart.
Yeah.
and I was fine. Because now I thought, oh, yeah, I know how this works. So, and 6 months later, I went into the deepest depression.
It hits you though.
Yeah.
You've done all the organising. It's
And-
stop, isn't it?
But if I understood it that would happen like a couple of months later,
yeah.
and it didn't. And
I think the 6 months as well, people who know you well, they expect you to move on, yeah, and they
I expected me to move, and I thought I was doing so well. So there was this depression, and I had nothing to hang it on. And it was a very close friend of mine who said, "Do you think this could have anything to do with your sister's death?" I was like, "Oh,
Yeah. Sudden realisation.
yeah." So there was.
it has sneaky ways of manifesting, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Much later
and-
than you think.
But what it did for me, it actually sharpened my counselling practice
Uh-huh.
because it's not textbook.
Yeah.
Out
Yeah.
of the realms of the norm.
Oh,
Okay. Wow.
Can I just ask? So you say you're a medium. Do you use that in your counselling? If you're talking to anybody else, do you use that skill about death and things like that?
I use it. I don't just do bereavement counselling. I'm a counsellor and a coach
Okay.
and a spiritual guide as well. So I use the mediumship in every area of my life, but I don't always use it overtly.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I imagine you have to keep it close to you at times because it's maybe not always.
Oh, I don't tell them.
Yeah.
I don't say, oh, by the way, your Auntie Jean is here. I hope you don't
Yeah.
have an Auntie Jean, by the way. I
Better
don't.
not be here.
I said, your Auntie Jean. I wouldn't say that.
No.
But Auntie Jean might tell me something that is very relevant.
Like a guidance.
Yeah, for
And
the
you can use
person.
that in their
Yes.
therapy.
Yeah, and I would introduce that. I mean, one of the weirdest thing, I was doing some coaching with a businessman, and we were at a point where we were really stuck with how to move his business forward, and we had looked at all the options and nothing was working. And then someone said to me, I said, ask him about the cat. And with my business official coaching hat on, I'm having a conversation with him. I can't ask him about the cat.
It's not appropriate.
Yeah. And it was like, insistent, ask him about the cat. And it's just, so, I know this is a bit random, but tell me about the cat. And he looked at me a bit weird, but then he started to tell me about his cat. And we had this whole conversation about the cat. And in the conversation about the cat, we got the solution to the problem.
How
Wow.
amazing. So divine guidance.
Yes. Yes.
How
That's amazing.
incredible.
That's
So you get to combine these skill sets
Yes.
without telling that client that that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
because it would really freak some people out.
Yeah.
If-
So are you all going back to your writing? Is any of your works published? Or are you working on anything?
I'm currently I have already transferred the thesis into a book. It is with a publisher at the moment.
Tell us, what's it called? Where can we find it? Where can we get it?
The book is called Death of the Nine Nights. Yeah.
Yeah.
With a subtitle of Changing Death Rituals and the Experience of Crisis. It's, I don't think I'm allowed to say, it's a big publisher.
Applause for a big publisher.
And they think it's intriguing. They think it's a very powerful book.
Sounds amazing.
The editor is a university lecturer, course leader, and what has been the challenge is how to move it out of the strictly academic field and into the more accessible
More
field.
palatable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that
Everyone, yeah.
the man in the street. So I've had to do that, and that was actually really.
So that's in process at the moment.
It is in
And
process
so,
at the
any
moment.
ideas when that is going to be released?
I had hoped it would be this month, but there is some delay, and now I can't tell
So
you.
certainly this year.
Certainly this year.
Oh, that's what we will look out for that.
We'll look out for it.
Yeah.
We'll put it in the comments.
Yeah,
as well.
absolutely.
We're going to move on to the masks.
Yeah.
So Tom here, this is Tom Woods. He is a mask maker extraordinaire.
Okay.
Red Boy Studios.
Now, there are 3 expressions here, and we're asking people to look at all 3. And which one are you most drawn to? And then we'll have a chat to you about it. There isn't a right or wrong answer, just whichever one that you feel you're more drawn to.
This one. Yeah.
Okay, brilliant.
Lovely.
So can we get you to hold on to that mask and just turn it around so the camera can see?
Do I get to put it on?
Of course you can. Go for it. Yeah. Yes. There you go. That is fantastic. Wonderful. And you can keep it on if you like, but if you want to take it off and we'll look at it again, I was just going to ask you.
Why that mask?
Yeah.
So of the 3 of them, this one has the eyes cast down, and to me it felt more like this person was in meditation. Like this was a meditative pose.
Isn't it funny? So when I first saw this, so Tom has worked very hard on these masks to create them for this event for us in the last 10 days, start to finish.
Still small.
Still smells fresh. Isn't it interesting how it's artwork is down to interpretation? I saw this as sadness. This was for me real, just pure. I'm so sad, feeling on my own. But we all interpret it differently. It's so interesting. Out of interest, when you look at these 2, what do you see?
This is really. This to me looks like a Noel.
Oh, what?
Yeah, and
no more.
Yeah, somebody who was just so
Smug.
smug, so full of yourself.
That's so interesting
Smug.
how people see
Yeah.
see it so
Love
differently.
that.
Yeah.
And what about this one?
And I wasn't at all drawn to this one, but now I'm wondering why I wasn't drawn to people pleaser.
Okay.
People pleaser.
I think they've got to be three of the most interesting responses.
Absolutely. That's awesome. Thank you.
Brilliant. We'll take that back on.
No.
And to finish, I'll let Carrie take over here.
We've got this little set of cards called the Death Deck.
Okay.
And basically, they're conversation starters about death. So you can pick a card, any card you want, if you're drawn to the yellow ones or the purple ones, purpley blue. Shuffle them up, pick a card, and we'll have a little conversation about
Okay.
it. So you decide.
Straight
for
with
the
the blue.
purple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll do them that way around. So see what
That's it. Give them a shuffle.
I read tarot as well.
Do you?
Seem you love a bit of tarot.
You don't happen to have them with you, do you?
No.
What a shame.
I would have.
Well, maybe we could get your details. We can...
Could we interview you again and we could talk more about the mediumship and the tarot? That would
Yeah,
be
that would be
really
wonderful.
good.
Oh, sorry, just pull one.
Yeah, pull one out.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. Let me read it. Your mother or mother-in-law is widowed and is now too frail to live alone. What do you do? A. Bring in a full-time caregiver so she doesn't have to relocate. B. Get her into assisted living. Or C. Move mum in with me and or one of my siblings.
Okay. So is this?
This is you personally.
This is me
answering.
personally.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not
What
the
would you do?
easiest.
I mean, it's hard, isn't it?
It is an issue that I face.
And it's one I have
Right.
had to face.
So
as well.
so it
It's
isn't
not
a
easy.
hypothetical question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we tried all three.
Okay.
No, sorry, we tried two and was about to move to the third when she died.
Wow.
So interesting. So I have been through the same experience, and I also did all three, and I've now had to. It's been a care home because the needs were too high.
Yes.
It's too hard to do. But isn't it a tough decision to make?
In the case of my mother, in the end, no, it wasn't tough because we went with the mover in with someone, and she was not at the stage then when she was too frail. She was becoming that. And due to the nature of her personality,
Very diplomatic.
That's exactly what I was going for.
it was very difficult for her to remain within the family
Manageable.
and for the rest of the family to be
keep their
able to
sanity.
do it.
Okay.
So she went to assisted living.
Yeah.
And she became, within the assisted living, she wanted more and more assistance.
Yeah.
Not that she needed it, but because she
liked
felt
it.
she deserved that. This is where I'm at. She was 92 when she died.
Yeah.
And so,
Great age.
yeah. And so she was, I know she's watching, she don't mind. No. She felt at this stage that she should have all her cares, all her needs taken care of all the time. So she wanted someone to stay in
With them.
Right.
with her. And that was becoming so expensive that it was financially not viable. And so we were moving to the final option, which was a care home. Because it was like, if you need 24-hour care, then
That's the best place.
that's the best place. And so she was in hospital. She was getting better. We were due to have the meeting with social services on the Monday, and she died on the Saturday.
Wow.
Yeah. And for me, I've always seen that as she didn't want to go into that care home, and so she
You
thought,
decided.
yeah, she would go before that decision
On her terms.
on her turn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I mean, I could carry on questioning
Yeah.
all day long.
Thank you so much.
interesting.
Thank you.
We'll get your details and if you want to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, sure. That would
Thank
be
you so much
fine.
for your time
Yeah.
today. It's been such a pleasure.
Thank
you.
you. Thank you very much.
We are here with Sadie Carter. Sadie is 18 years old and works for a crematorium.
Yes.
So, Sadie, without further ado, I'm going to hand over to you. Could you please tell us, our listeners and our viewers, you don't need to say exactly where you work, but what's taken you into that line of work, how long you've been doing it, and tell us about it.
Okay, so it all started off about last year when I saw a video online. It's from Victor Sweeney, and he was just explaining his job and what he does. And I was listening, I was thinking, oh, this is really interesting. I don't think I could do it, but maybe. So I read a few books. He suggested one. It's called The Undertaking by Thomas Lynch. So I read that, and then I read another one. It was Smoke Gets in Your Eyes, Caitlin Doherty.
Yeah.
Brilliant title.
And then Will My Cat Eat My Eyeballs, Caitlin Doherty.
Eat my eyeballs.
I read that, and then I just thought, you know what, I'm going to give this a go. And so I got in touch with Fran from My Natural Undertaking,
Yeah.
and I did some work experience there. And then now I applied for a job, and I got it.
At the
At
crematorium.
the crematorium, and it's
What was your work experience like?
It was awesome. She just threw me straight in the deep end, and I was just in the mortuary.
That is just the deep end and nothing else.
Yeah. It was in the mortuary, and I was being trained to like close mouths. I was like dressing bodies, cleaning them, putting them in coffins, and then we went to a funeral, and then that's like, yeah, it's pretty interesting.
And did any of it, did you feel fazed by any of it? Had you, prior to this, had you ever seen a dead body before?
So I saw my granddad, and I think that gave me like a little bit of, like, I was a little
They
bit,
knew what to expect,
Yeah.
sort of thing. Yeah.
and so that was it. But then the bodies I saw at Natural Undertaking, they were all very decomposed, so it was quite like a bit of a shock at first, but then I kind of got over it quite quick. I think I was like, no, I really want to do this. I need to get through it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't smell very nice, does it?
No, no. And for some reason, they all smell different.
Yeah.
Carrie, you
No.
said this.
Yeah.
It's all shit, everybody's
Yeah.
individual smell.
They do, yeah.
Some have like smell like malty fruit.
Yeah. Sometimes there's a little sweet smell, sometimes there's a little
Yeah.
sour.
Didn't you
yeah.
say for
Yeah.
drinkers as well?
Yeah, I think it depends on their lifestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can change.
And then others smell like fish.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
really-
particularly nice.
Yeah.
You two kindred spirits. This is lovely.
Yeah.
What an incredible choice for somebody
So young
so
as
young
well.
to do. So can you tell me, when you went to mum and dad
Mhm.
and went, hey, mum and dad, this is what I want to do, were they fully supportive? Were they shocked? What were they?
They were absolutely disgusted. They were like, we don't want you to do this at all. What's wrong with you? And then now my mum's looking to apply for a job as a funeral arranger.
Okay.
She wants to
Wow,
get to
so
it
So my mum had exactly the same response, and
Yeah.
now she's come around a little bit. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's funny, isn't it? People are turned off by it straight away.
Yeah, it's
Do you think they
still-
didn't want that for you? So let's say when you finished school and college, what were your subjects? What were you interested in at that point?
Mostly history, but I was also interested in like the death part of history.
Yeah, because it is
I loved
fascinating,
like
isn't it?
the
Yeah.
Victorians and all
Yeah.
the plague doctors, all of that, and I think I was always interested in death.
So were your parents particularly surprised then
Yeah.
when you came to them with this? And what about your friends?
They're all quite interested. They just
bet
kind of
they
they just
are.
keep asking questions, and they're really. It's nice to have people seem more interested in you when you've got a more like
Fascinating job.
different,
Yeah.
different.
What do you do?
type of
I
job.
work in data input. Oh, boring. What do you do? I work in a
Crematorium.
crematorium. And everyone is drawn to you. Of course they are.
Yeah.
I think death is fascinating for some people. They're drawn to that. They want to know all the ins and
It's
outs.
our
don't
human
they? Yeah.
nature. Because
Yeah.
Carrie and I say a lot, there's so much that is behind closed doors. And, I know it has to be, but because of that, most humans, when they lose somebody, that death occurs and they don't know what the process is. Where have they gone to? What happens next? Are they in a fridge? What is the next process? Are they being dressed properly? Who's doing that job?
Yeah.
And so, that's the answer to that, isn't it?
It's really nice to talk to people in every area of the death profession.
Because when my granddad died, I was so worried about what was going to happen to him and how he was being treated. But now I'm on the other side and I know what people do. It's like, oh, no, they're really looked after. And
And there's nothing to be
cared
scared of.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's amazing.
So how long have you been in your job?
So 3 months now.
3 months. Well
3
done.
months.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And you can see a long career ahead of you.
Yeah, I can't see myself doing anything else.
Yeah,
Really.
it's funny,
And
isn't it?
isn't there, I mean, I don't know this, so I'm asking really because I just don't know the answer, but is there a sort of general progression that you would do throughout the crematorium in terms of where your job sort of goes?
Yeah, so I could become like a creme technician where I like learn all parts of the machine. but I'm thinking possibly just do a few years of being a crime assistant and then hopefully move on to be a funeral director.
Perfect.
Work on that side.
Yeah.
I'd love to do your job though, being as a
Well,
coroner.
you could do that then, maybe.
That would be really cool. I'd love to do that as well.
Yeah. I don't suppose there's no way of knowing, is there, where it will take you? It can take you anywhere.
No, and there is more than you think. More opportunities than you think.
So much
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's great.
Absolutely amazing.
I'm going to show you these masks.
Yeah, I'm going to show you. So we said earlier, this is Tom Woods. He is a mask maker, creator extraordinaire. There are
New
3
one.
masks with different expressions.
Okay.
They're based off our logo.
Okay.
So we're going to hold them up for you. So I'm going to hold them properly. Look at that. I nearly dropped one. Could you imagine? As he lobs the phone across the floor and hits me. These are the 3 expressions. All we'll ask is which one are you most drawn to? Now, bearing in mind, we know what you do for a living. You've told us that you've lost your granddad. So this can come from a personal point of view. It can come from what do you find the most appealing?
I like him.
You like him?
Is it him? As
Hold
well?
him. Hold him. See what he
Hold
says.
him and hold him up. What we got? Okay. So you've chosen this one. These are not named. We haven't named them, and perhaps we shouldn't because people are coming up with such different things. Can you tell us why you were attracted to that particular him?
I don't know. I think he looks cool.
He looks
And like
cool.
the other one was a bit too happy. I think this one's a little bit more
Do you see it as angry, sad,
angry,
Yeah.
but it's fierce.
fierce?
Yeah, I
Great
like
word.
that. Yeah.
Brilliant word.
That's not really angry fish, is it?
No, that's more like owning it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
strong.
Yeah. We had somebody
Like that.
describe that one as smug. Did you?
Slightly sarcastic.
Yeah.
Really? That's
Smug, yeah. I love that.
Brilliant, looks fierce.
That's great.
That's wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I think to finish, Sadie, if this is okay, we explained to you briefly earlier about the death deck. These are conversation starters. So your blues, Carrie.
Well, I thought that
Those.
the yellows were a little bit more light-hearted and the blues were not, but actually I don't even know anymore.
Which one are you more attracted to? Take out whichever colour
You want
you're
it.
interested and give them a shuffle.
And then pick a card.
Yeah.
Oh, what are you going for? Close call.
Oh,
you're having
let's
two.
do it. Okay, so close
Okay.
call. As if describing a scene in a movie, share a real story of when you almost died, or at least you thought you might. We've had this card.
Yeah, we've
today.
had this before already.
Which is
so
really
that's
strange.
good,
It's such
yeah.
So I'll reiterate, I'll say again. As if describing a scene in a movie, so, you don't feel you need to get up and be very animated about
Okay.
it. Could be a musical, couldn't it? Share a real story of when you almost died, in brackets, or at least you thought you might.
I think when I had sleep paralysis,
Oh,
and I woke up and I couldn't move, and then there was a demon standing over me, all black, and then I thought I was in hell or something. It was horrible, and I couldn't move, and that was
because sleep paralysis is
That's
serious. stuff. It's
terrifying,
awful.
yeah.
It is awful.
I thought I was dead.
Oh my God, when did that happen?
I think when I was about 10.
Yeah.
I was quite young, so that's
Yeah.
terrifying.
And did it only happen once?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow, that is terrifying.
Yeah.
But in this one, we've had this as well. Isn't that weird? We've had this question as well. Time well spent. So you've just received a prognosis that you've only got 6 months to live.
Yeah.
But feel pretty healthy, so you feel all right.
Mhm.
How do you spend your time?
Singing, dancing, just
Singing
being
and dancing.
happy.
Like Romanian people.
Yeah,
Whoppa!
Do you sing, Sadie?
Yeah, I like singing.
You do?
Yeah.
What, do you sing professionally at all?
No, I just have private lessons.
Do you? How wonderful.
What sort of what's your musical genre?
I like just everything. I like 80s, 90s, but under Ariana Grande.
You know, this
Okay.
this could be part of when you
Actually
have
look a little
become
bit
your own funeral director. When you've got your own business, you can offer the singing as a service.
I'd love that. That'd be
Yeah,
so cool.
imagine.
Funeral singers. Are you a funeral singer? Have you
I
ever sang at a
sang at
funeral?
funerals. Yeah, so
Really?
yeah, I've been a singer a very long time. So yeah, I've done a few,
Oh,
but
that's awesome.
they are generally people I know. I don't know
Yeah.
how I would feel about being asked to do somebody I didn't know. It'd be a lot easier actually. It's pretty
Yeah.
hard doing it for somebody you know, but.
Mm.
I mean, you must see this in the crowd. They must have.
Yeah.
Does it happen often? Live musicians, singers.
We don't get it that often. People don't seem to.
I'll give you my
funeral
card and bring them in.
Oh yeah, I'll have it. Yeah, of course. You have a little
do a
stand.
duet.
Absolutely.
No.
Happily. Of course.
This one could sing as well.
No,
You
no,
can play
no.
drums.
It's
I mean, we're a musical bunch.
Holding the
Trio with drums.
Yeah.
That's what we've got so far. Sadie, thank you so
Lovely
much
to
for your
talk to
time.
you.
We are here with the delightful Spoz,
Hello.
former poet laureate for Birmingham,
Yeah.
but the member of Vaseline, the band,
Yeah,
as we've
yeah.
just discovered. This is amazing. So thank you so much for having the time to talk to us today.
Pleasure.
We are scheduled to have a proper interview with you where we can take that extra time.
Yeah.
Oh, here he comes in with his masks.
Oh.
Excuse us. So really, because you've been working with Birmingham Yodo, could you
Yeah.
tell me how did you get involved with them?
So, yeah, the lovely Jess Allen, Northfield Community Partnerships. She gave me a shout up. We did a little thing over the Licky Hills called Stroll and Scribble with Spoz. So for me, it was about getting into nature and seeing how that makes you feel and just scribble stuff. Might be letters, might be poems, might be anything. And she said, oh, I've got this. Once we completed that project, Jess said, oh, I've got this organisation called Brum Yodo. And I instantly thought of Star Wars.
So you referenced that earlier, wasn't it?
And then, I saw that about it, and she said, you only die once. And I says, well, yeah. Unless you're a Buddhist, of course. You die loads.
Cat.
Or a cat, indeed, yeah. Although the one I ran over, I'm pretty sure.
Is it?
Anyway.
Did you go back and check?
I was in bits.
reverse.
I was in bits, but not as in many bits as the sorrow. Don't need to know that.
Love it.
It broke my heart, it really did. But anyway,
Mm-hmm.
what was I talking about? Yeah, so, and she said, we'd love you to do a little memory walk for us over the Lickies, because again, the Lickies really does sort of encompass a lot of stuff for a lot of
Such
people.
a beautiful place.
So, yeah, and I'm lucky enough to live right by it, and I grew up in the Lickies and all that. Ate all the bilberries straight off the ground, covered in all sorts of whatever they were covered in. But it didn't matter to us in the 70s. Anyway, I said, yes, that'd be lovely. And I knew one or two people who'd been bereaved, and one or two people. We've all been bereaved at some point. Of course we have. But I thought I knew a few people who might benefit from that. So we put this little memory walk together.
And was that event last week or the week before?
You know what?
I think
Now you got me.
I think you were
last
with
week
one.
or week before, can't remember.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
How did it go?
Oh, it was marvellous. It was
Did
lovely.
you have a good turnout?
We really did. We had a great turnout. There's more than I anticipated, to be honest.
Did you have
But
to
we
shout?
had a little walk. What was that? Sorry.
Did you have to shout so they could all hear
Well,
you?
what was really good,
Leading the way.
I did it with, so I'm part of a CIC called the Word Association, and Holly Winter-Hughes is a director with me and her chap Jez, who does all the clever stuff, technical stuff, and she came with me. So there were the two of us, and we walked around, and so people walking at different paces. And,
Nice, because I was going, even that's quite difficult to
Yeah.
orchestrate, isn't
This
it?
is it.
Could you all keep up, please?
Yeah, well,
You
no,
down in
we
the
got,
back.
I mean, we
Put
had
skates on.
DK with us, who I've known for ages. Now, DK is in a motor chair, has cerebral palsy, and he rocked up in his 4x4 chair kind of a thing. It was ace. And he's rocking around and he's just, whoa, and it was brilliant. But what was really lovely is when we all came together at the end and shared conversations and bits of writing, and everyone shared what they'd written. And it really was a not an offloading kind of a thing, but a mutual kind of sharing
coming together in that
experience.
way,
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, there were tears and such like.
Yeah.
Of course there's going to be.
Such is life.
But we had a
And
great
death.
one. And death,
Yeah.
indeed, yeah. So, yeah, it was cracking. And
So
we
you've
got some
nice
poems out
little
there as well.
Oh, the poems are out here?
Yeah, some of them are out
So
here,
we'll get
printed out, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, I think we've already got some of those, haven't we? She's got them. Wonderful.
See, it's cool.
So, wonderful. While I've got you, would you
Yeah.
be willing to do a couple of things for us?
What's that
This
for?
is a song and a dance now, Jane.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, can we do
it?
us a poem? I'm going, oh.
No. So, this is Tom Woods. He's an artist and a mask maker.
Okay.
So I'd like you to take a look at these three masks. This is what we've been asking all our interviewees today.
Yeah.
And just have a think about which one you find the most appealing or the one that you're drawn to the most.
This one, actually,
Okay, wonderful. And can you just tell us why that is?
I don't know, it's kind of standard, but the other two were slight. The sad one, I kind of thought,
Isn't it funny? Because everybody has named them different things.
Yeah.
Everyone. So
The
not
sad
everyone
one.
sees it as sad.
Yeah.
Some people saw it as smoke. Some people saw it
small-
as angry.
the other one looks a bit weird. It's like, hey, I'm dead and I'm smiling. That's coming
That was going for.
Yeah. This one is.
Did you become Welsh as well?
Yeah.
Love that.
Like,
There's
You're
a thing.
deep as Welsh. Did you
But
know?
this one, it's kind of like, can I put it on?
Yeah, go for it.
It's almost what you'd expect to see a skull looking like.
It actually is a great look. And
I can't see them at all. There you go. Right, there you go.
absolutely
and
amazing.
the other two were, I don't know, is this a bit predictable? Not what you'd expect schools, an expression of a school to have.
It is. What is fascinating, Spoz, is everybody that we've had in this room today, there's been quite a lot of people, they've all had a completely unique viewpoint on all three masks. And that for us is what's interesting, because our experience of all our emotions to do with death, to do with life, we all experience things and our perception is different. It's different. And actually that's been a very interesting exercise, hasn't it?
Especially when, like, for me, it's creating the masks and stuff. Like, obviously, I got what I've got in my head. And what comes out, and obviously you'd be happy, sad, angry, whatever, but like, you smug, whatever.
Yeah, we had one lady who thought one looked smug.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't like
So
it.
I do love them though, because I'm a huge fan of Tim Burton. And immediately you go, Corpse Bride.
Everyone loves our Jack Skellington. So we'll give that back to you. And then, are you familiar with these? This is the Death deck. These are cards.
I'll take your glasses off so I will see.
Is it that? Do you have to go between different pairs now?
Well, the thing is, I'm lucky. It's kind of these or nothing.
Okay.
So it's
Yeah,
like,
nice and
I
clear.
can see that.
So there was an opinion that these were more serious and these were more humorous, but we've since found out that is not the case at all. So pick whichever colour you like, take them and give them a shuffle. So which deck appeals to you the most?
Oh, right, okay. Let's go.
Oh, don't let it give you away.
No, go on.
Give those a shuffle,
Give
Spot.
them a shuffle.
And then choose one and give it to me.
Shall I just grab the
Oh, no, get whatever works for you.
visitation?
Oh,
this card.
This is a new card.
This is a new card.
If you knew you could visit your loved ones after death, how would you make your presence known? What a question.
love it.
Let's have that one more time. So if you knew you could make your loved ones, if you could visit your loved ones after death, how would you make your presence known?
Right, okay. This is a bit embarrassing. My loved ones, when I'm gone, if there was a bit of a smell, they go, it's Dad. Oh, Barton. I can't help him. Yeah. So they'd be going, I'd be like, if there's just a smell or even just a slightly farty noise, they go, there's that. You know how people go, oh, there's a little robin in the garden. Oh, that's Mum, come say hello. No, there'd be a
Yours would be a foul
Oh, yeah, a foul stench, or the dog farting or something. The dog would fart and everyone's going, it's Dad.
Yeah,
Do you know what? I admire your brutal honesty.
We've got to be honest.
I mean, our podcast is basically thrives on being absolutely pretty vulgar, very frank, and really honest. So, Spoz, thank you for taking the time with
Pleasure.
us today. Thank you
Keep it
so
fun.
much.
See you later.
Thank you, dear listeners, for tuning in to It's a Death Sentence. Please keep listening to our weekly episodes.
And if you like our show, please like, share, and subscribe.
We are
dying to talk to you.
It's a death